we must reform the Cuban Adjustment Act. It cannot stay in its current condition. I'm an American citizen, and I cannot support people abusing the generous immigration laws of this country, specifically the Cuban Adjustment Act, perhaps one of the most generous immigration laws in the history of the world. People are abusing it every day, and it needs to stop now. The sanctions regime should stay in place. The Cuban government knows exactly what it needs to do if it wants to have normal relations with the United States. However, our immigration policies need to be consistent with the reality that is happening here today. Many economic refugees are coming from Cuba, and they're being treated as political asylees when they're not, and that's unfair to the American people, and it's also unfair to immigrants from many other countries that would like to benefit from generous immigration laws such as that one. It's a major inequity, and it needs to be corrected.
Now, staying on the immigration topic, what do you think of this immigration reform bill that just passed the Senate and moving over to the House now? Many are speculating that it's going to be completely changed. It's going to be stronger or tougher, if you would, on border security. What is your view on that?
The status quo of immigration in our country is unacceptable. It needs to be changed. And what we've learned from the past, because we've invested billions in border security already, is that that cannot be the only focus. It does need to be a major component, but we need to look at everything else. We need to look at enforcing visas. We need to look at how to realistically deal with the undocumented in this country. And I think the House has a great opportunity to strengthen, to make the Senate bill even better. But I do believe that we need a comprehensive solution for immigration. I think it's the only way to truly fix the problem.
If you were in the Congress today, what are some of the ideas for immigration reform would you propose?
Well, look, border security, number one. Number two, make sure that our immigration system is compatible with our economic needs. We do need foreign labor. That's a fact. Every big business in the country will tell you that. And then let's find a way to deal justly and fairly with the undocumented. They need to pay a price for the crime they committed when they illegally entered the country. They need to learn English because, number one, it's the common language in our country, and number two, it's going to help them be more successful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Would you think English should be the official language, or is it the official language of the United States?
English is the official language, and everyone should learn how to speak it. I've always been a major proponent of that. And let me tell you, we talk to our daughters at Spanish here at home because we want them to learn another language, but every single immigrant, every person living in this country should learn English. It's a matter of principle, but it's also a very practical matter. For safety, for security, it's important for us to be able to communicate. So I support the amendment in the Senate that encouraged and required immigrants to learn English, and I encourage people to do it every day.
So you would say, lastly, that before there's a pathway to citizenship, before any of these illegal immigrants get any kind of pathway to citizenship, we need to secure the border first before anything.
Of course, the border must be secure. Look, we can't pass a bill and then 10, 15 years down the line be in the same exact position we're in today. So that needs to be taken care of. I like that the Senate upped its funding for border security because I think we need it. You know, 1,000 one agent every 1,000 feet. That sounds good to me. Maybe it's the only way to control the border. I hope we can do it, but absolutely it must be a requirement.
But what do you think of the fact that, what do you think, if this bill, why do you think this bill will pass and will get enforced as opposed to the other immigration bills that we've had over the past that have been ignored by the federal government?
Look, 1986, what President Reagan signed, that was a true amnesty bill. It had very little focus on border security. It didn't have almost any requirement for the undocumented at the time that wanted to become citizens. As a matter of fact, I understand that less than half of them went on to become citizens. So we don't expect that every single person that's living illegally in our country today is going to become a citizen anyway. But absolutely, we cannot make the same mistake we made in 1986. That's why I support all efforts to strengthen this bill, but I do not support efforts to kill it, because we do need a bill. To sit back and do nothing is totally unacceptable.